Hi everyone, this is Karen from Online Healing Community. Welcome to Creating Space. This is a space for us to share stories and reflection related to personal growth and healing. Welcome everybody to the first episode for the year 2021. And Happy New Year, everybody. How are you this 2021? Hopefully, it's a better year for all of us. And for our first episode of Creating Space, we're going to talk about enabling children and youth with disabilities. I am very excited because with us today are my fellow co-founders at Special Achievers. And Special Achievers is an NGO for children and youth with disability. So friends, please welcome Dane Raymundo and Dana Salonga.
Hi,
Welcome to
good
the
evening. Happy New Year. We're the
Happy New
fe-
Year.
we're the first guests pala.
For the year. Thank you for being here. Tsaka finally, yay, magkakasama tayo.
Yay.
Yeah. Can you please, of course, I know about Special Achievers, but for everybody watching and listening, can you please tell them what
Okay.
is Special Achievers?
Of course, you know all about it.
Yeah.
So Special Achievers, like what Teacher Karen said, is an NGO, and it is an initiative. I really have to say this. It was an initiative and the brilliant idea of Miss Karen Navarro. Actually,
Magkakasama
yes.
tayo dito.
Actually, I should be passing on the baton to her kaso host daw siya eh. So, ako na lang magde-describe today. Pero, pwede rin tayo mag-exchange. So, if you have anything to add, feel free to add. So, yan. It was an initiative and the brainchild of Karen, but we are actually four in the group. So there's Dana, and then another one is Pei Abdul Wahid, but she's not in the country right now. And then I was actually the last one to join. So our professions are somehow related to the organization because the three of them are all occupational therapists, and I'm a speech language pathologist. So we have worked with children with disabilities for some time, and we all met each other through the profession, right? And so over the course of time, we realized how we tend to identify the limitations of children with disability, right? So like identifying like these are the things that she can't do, these are the things that he can't do. So these are the problems. So we target the problems. So we target the difficulties. So parang a lot of times parang ganun yung nangyayari. So a question that popped out was, how about their interest and their strengths? So, di ba? Why not also work on encouraging them to improve it? So, Special Achievers was born with that mission to go beyond the this in disability and provide these kids with support. So, we move from the yung I can't do this, I can't do that, to I can. And then we aim to help them reach their potential by focusing on their strengths and the passions. And currently, Dana, we have how many arms? We have
We have
programs.
two programs, two main programs or arms. So it's the mentorship and the expressions. So yeah, like what Dane said, just going back to the tagline of Special Achievers, it's really the essence is going beyond the disability and focusing on the strengths of the kids. And then it's also a growing group with more volunteers now from, some are coming from our circle, therapists also, or some also from private organizations and other groups. So it's a growing community. Okay. And then, yeah, as Dane mentioned, there are two main arms. It's expression and mentorship.
Yeah. Can you talk about the expression program because you're focusing there, no, Dana?
Okay, so for that arm of special achievers, so the expressions arm of special achievers, we look for children and youth with disabilities excelling in a particular field. So it could be with art, dance, singing, music, so anything. And then we find means to showcase their work for the public to be more aware and also like exposed to what they could do. So with this, the strengths nga and talents of the kids are highlighted, and more people get to see and support their work. With that also, I think it's a way of building the self-confidence of the kids because they're given the opportunity to share their talent. And then at the same time, it gives pride to their families as well to see that these kids and yeah, their daughters or their sons also have this special talents. It also gives them a chance to earn from what they could do, their talents, because with the projects of the Expressions Arm, they get parts of the proceeds for it.
Yeah.
So the past projects, so we had before the Eco Bag campaign. So some artworks and paintings were printed on eco bags. Okay, and then they also were featured in a calendar. Okay. Um, Also, a group got the one of our artists to draw for the yoga cards for set of yoga cards, and some were also featured in T-shirts that they could purchase online. There are also exhibits that the group did from the previous years. So, actual exhibits, some were done in malls, so SM malls before. And then some were also done in conventions for groups, like yung doctors' conventions before. And also, we have our online exhibit where the works can be seen online. You could check out the website of Special Achievers to see the portfolios and some of the sample artworks of the group.
What's your favorite program or project, Dana? Kasi that's a lot of projects from eco bags to calendar to actual exhibits.
It's hard to choose each because I think, but essentially, it's just how it's executed. But the main idea is, highlighting the work of the kids. But if you would, if I would choose one, okay, maybe it's the Eco Bag campaign, the very first one, because I think it was just significant also in that sense that it was the first time that we tried to feature the artist, and
Yeah.
we also had that idea of trying to bring the bags all over the world, so they would take a picture of the bags if they travel or they go somewhere in the country. So
Right.
it's like emphasizing like the reach of their work, like how many people can see it, and there. So that's my
And
pick.
it's
Oh,
special kasi 'di
yeah.
ba it's Echo na
Yeah,
ECHO.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. So
So it
echo.
sends that message also na this is what um yeah,
We
yeah,
want to
the
see.
why behind the project. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And
And
then
you know
siya,
what? I remember 2013. We started that 2013 pa. So
that was the
seven
first
years
project.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Dane too.
To your painting at the back.
Yeah, this is
Kasi
actually
it's part
Diego's
of expression,
painting.
'di ba?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Actually, what we'll do here at Online Healing Communities, we ask the parents, we'll feature one painting a week.
Oh,
So
cool.
people can buy our paintings because we can buy the paintings of our artists online. And so the
Yes.
mom said we can feature one a week and then you can buy it online. So this one was made by Diego
Hmm.
Villavicencio. Ang galing. Parang sa kanya talaga really abstract. Then, the other arm is the mentorship program, right? Can you please tell us about that?
So generally, like mentorship program goes hand in hand with expression because the goal is to like to teach the kids the skills and then later on they could express it. So nandun na siya sa expression side. But the mentorship program started with providing tutorials and training in arts, music, and sports. Before the pandemic, we were running the program in Child House. It's a temporary shelter for children with cancer. And our classes, we were teaching the kids different skills. So, like, there's yoga, engineering for kids, there's music, and then we included tutorials for reading, comprehension, writing, and math. Because if you talk to the kids, most of them, they're going in and out of the hospital, and talagang heartbreaking kasi ang wish nila is to go back to school. So we wanted to incorporate something that they want to do and something that they miss in the program. So we placed some programs on parang medyo academic based together with the help of our teachers, volunteer teachers. Okay, and then we had a lot of volunteers for this program from different organizations. So you have your ANZ Bank, Rotaract United Nations, UNESCO, and Smile Group PH. And then, did I miss? There are other private individuals, a lot of volunteers over the years since 2013. So those with generous hearts na before the pandemic, they will be teaching the children every Sundays from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock p.m. But given the situation now, so in 2020, we had to temporarily suspend it to look after also the health of the kids. So during the time of pandemic. So right now, we temporarily suspended the program in Child House. So we're hoping that we can bring it back once things are settled. So while we were doing the project in Child House, we duplicated the mentorship program and targeted a bigger group. So simultaneously doing it. So there's Child House, and then we brought it to a public SPED school last September 2018. Um, but with this one, we focused on working on the strengths and interest of 35 SPED students into just, we narrowed it down to 5 types of arts because we really couldn't, we wanted to expand it if we could, but funding, funding is really a big concern, because it's really expensive to run the program. So we had to narrow it down to dance, visual arts, music, culinary arts, but more on chocolate making, and then theater arts. So we ran the program for 4 months in San Antonio National High School, and then we also documented it because we wanted to see if we can run it again. We wanted to run it again in the next years or see the feasibility of also providing it to other public schools as well. Yun. So yung documentation, I will be talking about it, I think, later.
Yeah.
As it's something that we're also promoting online now. Yun. So as for projects right now, since we're in the new normal, we have also transferred our program online, but only to a few students. And we had to cut down the type of training we could provide. So last year, 2020, we had dance. And then from last year until now, we have music and visual arts. All of the programs are continuous, but online.
Right.
Yeah.
So for both programs, for expression and also for mentorship, you're focusing on the arts. I would like to ask, because online healing community focuses on personal growth and healing. How has the arts helped the SPED students in terms of personal growth and healing? What improvements did you see in them?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go ahead first, Dane.
Yes, go then.
So I think, yeah, because we know how powerful, art is, even not only for the kids with special needs, but, for everyone. But I think parang it also has a cathartic value to it. And also, like, for instance, the kids, at first, through the arts, they also learn different skills. They also develop the different skills that they actually need for therapy before. But this time, it's practice in a more natural um, context, and it's also something more interesting for them. So, like, let's say they're practicing their fine motor skills or their ability to follow instructions, their attention to a certain task. So that, and also, sometimes also their regulation and their sensory needs, it's also addressed through those activities. And then at the same time, of course, it's a means for them to express themselves in a different way. So some of them might not be as verbal or expressive, but through the arts, we could see their feelings, their thoughts, their ideas. So it's a very good avenue for that. And
So
like what
that's
I said also a while ago, it builds their self confidence and their self esteem because they really take pride that they could do something. So they don't really focus on what they have difficulty with, but something that's a talent for them or something that's something that they could do, and then it's further trained.
So the art helps with their self confidence, and then
Yes.
helps with expression, helps develop skills. But also for your program, you mentioned that it's a source of livelihoods for some of them because
I
they're earning already, no, from
yes.
the arts. Then you've been in the public school, right, for the mentorship program. What did you observe when the students were
Yeah.
exposed to different
I
arts?
really value like the learning process, like yung parang yung proseso ng learning sa mga kids. And then yun nga, like yung confidence, like specifically, for example, music. You'd hear the kids like singing sobrang hina, parang ayaw ilabas yung boses. And then pagdating sa recital, biglang woo! So parang yun yung mga things na ma-appreciate mo, like lalo na in terms of confidence. Kasi like seeing them from day one until the day like after 4 months when they had the recital, and then just looking at them being confident na parang, oh, siya ba yun? Sobrang iba yung impact niya. And I'm sure parang aside from the kids feeling empowered also, the families are very proud then of the accomplishments of their kids. So parang ganun.
Yeah, so the programs show that they can really go beyond disability. But also, there's something sensitive I have to ask because there were two incidences in the Philippines which sparked outrage among families with autism specifically. Like one family was harassed by a customer in a coffee shop because a person with autism wasn't behaving properly according to the customer, and then another child and mother, they were asked to leave a swimming pool in a resort because the child was making too much noise. And a lot of people really talk about this. This has gone viral. Can you please comment on this, Dane and Dana? Dane, you want to start?
Okay. These are actually big issues for me in 2020. So when I heard the news, parang medyo ano din yung unfolding ng events eh. So a lot of my friends also feel strongly about all the events that happened. But I also don't know where to start, but maybe like let me start with the feeling. So two of the feelings na parang I thought was really frustrated and disappointed. Because, I'm coming from an organization who has been advocating for inclusion and acceptance of individuals, not just children with disabilities, like special achievers. I couldn't help but wonder why this is still happening because along with all the awareness campaigns, kasi it has increased, diba? Now that during the modern times, you would think that people are more open and they're more progressive thinkers. But then, if you think about it, maybe it's true, but only to some extent. Um, One of special achievers motto, or probably you've seen it in as a hashtag in our social media accounts, is hashtag celebrate uniqueness. And if you think about it, we are all unique. So I will be different from you, teacher Karen. I will be different from Dana. I have certain behaviors or traits that may not sit well with some people, and I may be or may not be aware of it. So, what am I trying to get at? So, there are points of differences. At the same time, there are points of likeness or sameness, especially when it comes to children. So, with or without a disability, children will be children. And for me, I think we should all see them as children first who have the same equal rights. And children will, behaviors of children, they will be screaming, they will be shouting when they're playing because they're happy. So it's an expression of happiness. So for me, I would actually take joy in watching that. Usually it's contagious, diba?
Yeah.
So I I personally I wouldn't fault a child, or I should not and would not fault a child for or anyone for that. So it means they're having fun in the swimming pool, enjoying himself. So we try to identify and embrace points of differences and sameness, and we advocate for each other. For the differences, again, we will put the celebrate uniqueness hashtag. Having said that, so I question why can't we all get along and live harmoniously without, judging others? which also, I guess, brings me to the next point that I have and realization na I feel like the situation could have handled better. Um, because yung reaction ko nung nangyari yung unang event, parang shock. And then as the events unfolded and, things were people were trying to address things. I don't know what to say. Parang mas lalo lang nag intensify yung reactions ko and emotions ko. So, but I guess it was an eye opener for me on how we should all just really push for inclusion and acceptance. I was
So,
reading an article, 'di ba, from Autism Society of the Philippines, dun sa isang website nila, na there was this line that struck me and parang hit the nail on the head. Tama ba yung idiom ko? Parang, okay. It said, genuine disability inclusion ensures access to enriching opportunities and experiences. So, that the word genuine disability inclusion parang really struck me. Parang these kids should be experiencing the same opportunities as others. So the events that happened just showed me na kulang pa. So parang push pa natin. Let's go for better awareness, teaching empathy, and aim for that real sense of inclusion and acceptance.
yeah. So Dane saying there's still a need for inclusion. How about you, Dana? What do you think?
So, I agree with the point. And I get how why she's too emotional about this issues. So like for me naman, it's really the incidents. At the end of the day, it's a lesson on understanding, empathy, and kindness. So if we just look at it, like what's our takeaway from what happened? Like hopefully, we get to check ourselves again in terms of those values that we have. And then from like what we could do moving forward, it's like what Dane said, it's an eye opener. Like um like for me as a professional that work with this community, and it's an eye opener for me that maybe I should take a more active role in educating people. Because sometimes we kind of feel it's a given because we're in our circle, but we don't know that sometimes other people might not be as aware. Also, it's a call to action for the public to maybe take a more initiative to learn about the experiences of PWDs and their families so they could empathize better. And then for the institutions to see it as a need also to educate themselves more so that their parang companies or yung institutions sila will be ready when there are incidents like this.
Yeah.
There's so both of you are saying that there's a need for more awareness, more inclusion, and for all of this. And your special achievers actually launched a documentary, which I think can help with inclusion and awareness building. Can you tell us more about this, Dane? Posible?
Sige. Yan. Sobrang pasok siya sa awareness. So, for the mentorship program, so a while ago I mentioned that, di ba, we ran the mentorship program in 2018 in San Antonio National High School. So, we documented it, and through the help of SM Cares, Teacher Karen was very hardworking and overseeing everything. And then Martin C., who is our program and development manager, and MS Peña, who directed and gave creative input, among other people who also, again, ang daming naming pasasalamat sa mga volunteers. Ang dami, it's really a group team effort. So we were able to turn the experience and the program to a documentary. So the documentary shows how it really takes a village to raise a child, and how if we build a community that supports children with disabilities, lahat ay posible. So everything is possible. Kaya yun yung title. The project was a collaboration with the principal and teachers of San Antonio National High School and even the parents. And then our very kind-hearted and generous mentors na I need to give a special shout out to. So Sister Nori San Juan for chocolate making, Monique Pereda for music, Rod Valencia for dance, Carl Jinko for theater arts, and Raisa Perez for visual arts. So ito yung minention ko kanina na 5 arts that we focused on because we had to narrow it down due to funding. And then we started the program by educating the parents through a series of lectures and to also update them on how we would be running the program. And then there was the assessment process where the 35 children were placed in the field of arts that was best suited for them. So to determine and identify what is best, we had an assessment on the interest and strength. So doon din pumapasok yung advocacy ni special achievers to develop the strengths and the interests of the child, the strengths and passion of the children. So for the documentary, we followed their journey for 4 months, and then it was shown in SM Mall of Asia through the help of SM Cares and SM Cinema last November 2019. And then now we wanted to provide it at the comforts of our home since we're doing the new normal and despite the pandemic. And still, we're hoping to raise awareness. So now it can be accessed online through Sure. So thank you, Sure. www.sure.com.ph. There.
So there. And Dana, why should people watch this documentary? Of course, Dean talk about the community coming together to help children and youth with disabilities. But aside from that, why should they watch it?
So I think it's a good start if you want, yeah, if it's for awareness, if you want something that would start off that one, it's a good choice. And then it's very inspiring. And I think at this point also people are in search for that, but we all need that spark, that inspiration. So this one, and it could offer that. It's very heartwarming also because you could see the kids and their families really develop. And then lastly, it's also a way for them to support the community and like programs of groups like special achievers because like it's also the only way for the group to sustain projects and to keep providing programs that will serve this community. So yeah, hopefully they would watch and support the doc.
Thank you so much, Dane and Dana, for being here. And but final words before you, because after this I'll show the documentary, and then the students will come in. Final words for everybody here. Ay wow, you have.
Please watch
You have the
Posible.
poster.
Please watch the docu. Hope you all have a better 2021. And yeah.
Great. All right. So there, the final words from Dean and Dan. Watch Posible. And then here's the trailer for everybody so you know what it is. Thank you again, Dean and Dana. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Gusto kong pakita na kaya kong maging independent, kaya kong maging normal, kaya kong sabayan yung ginagawa sa school. Yun po ang gusto kong ipakita at para hindi po sila natatakot sa amin.
Basta ang ano ko lang, kung nagbubukas tayo ng bagong mundo sa kanila, di ba? Kasi yung cooperation din ng mga bata, ng mga teachers, maramdaman mo.
Andun yung gutom to learn. Which is, ang tayo nakaka-fuel siya to more help kasi nga, madali yung delivery. Tapos, cheese! Tapos,
Kung may pagkukulang ako sa anak ko, natututo ako. At matututo rin ang anak ko sa pagdating ng panahon na wala ako sa kanya.
Disability exists because we put a limit on what a child with disability can do. Pero kung magbubukas tayo sa mga taong may kapansanan, posible. Posible silang maging independente, posible silang maging artist, posible lang marating kung ano man ang gusto nilang marating. Kung bubuksan lang natin ang ating pag-unawa, bubuksan natin ang ating komunidad. Posible.
So that's the trailer of Posible, SPED Students' Pursuit of the Arts. Hopefully you can watch it. The link to that is on the comments below. But with us on the next episode and the next 30 minutes of the show are the students, the stars of Posible. So here are JM, Bresino, and Eunice Retanya, and they are with us with here in the studio right
Hello.
now. Hello, kayo
Happy
pala
New
yung
Year.
stars. Happy New Year, JM and Eunice.
Happy New Year po.
Kayo yung stars. Nakita ko kayo dun sa trailer and I even saw your pictures dun sa
Yes.
poster. Kamusta? Pakilala kayo sa mga tao here watching and listening to you guys.
Ako po si John Michael Brisino, 15 years old, a grade 9 student at San Antonio National High School.
Eunice?
Hi, my name is Eunice Orietania. Nag-aaral ako sa San Antonio National High School, grade 9.
So, grade 9 kayo. Nung nag-meet tayo, nung 2018, grade 7 pa lang kayo.
Yes.
Grade
Wow, tapos
7.
next year, first year high school pa lang. Next year, graduate na kayo. Ang tagal pala natin magkakasama.
Oo nga po.
3 years
Bilis ng
na.
panahon.
Oo, ang bilis. I still remember when we first met. Ano yung feeling nyo nung biglang may art program sa San Antonio National High School?
Sobrang saya.
Well, at first, na-shock. Pero, we're excited kasi new program, new learnings, ganun. Mayroon kaming bagong
Bago na naman
kaalaman.
pag-aaralan.
Oo, sabi ni Eunice masaya. Saan program ka napunta, Eunice?
Music.
And also, nag-dance ka rin, diba?
Yes.
po.
Yes, nag-dance din.
So, ano yung feeling na, pero this was, I think that wasn't your first time. That wasn't your first time na mag-music kasi may training ka na talaga sa music, diba? Both of
Kami.
you.
Since elementary, yes. Meron na. We have.
Right. So, this is a continuation of that. Pero, bukod doon, 2018, nagkaroon kayong training. 2019, the year after, pinalabas naman yung documentary nyo sa SMOA.
Yes.
Tapos nag-perform din kayo. Kamusta yung experience na yun?
Masaya.
We're happy. Yes, we're happy. Masaya siya.
Masaya na pag
medyo
mag-perform
kinakabahan lang naman, pero mas nangingibabaw
Sandali,
po yung
sabay-sabay.
excitement.
Sobra kayong masaya. Sabay kayo pala. Sabay kayo. Sige, Eunice, ikaw naman muna. Tapos tanong natin si JM after.
Masaya na kinakabahan.
Kinakabahan ka kasi?
Ewan ko, kinakabahan po kasi ako pag kumakanta sa maraming tao. Masyado akong shy.
Okay. Ikaw, JM, kamusta? That was the biggest, I think, yun yung biggest na
Yes.
audience natin so far, no? Yung sa MOA.
Masaya. Well, medyo, yes, excited. Pero, kinakabahan ng konti, pero mas nangingibabaw yung excitement. Kasi, una sa lahat, magpa-perform ako sa maraming tao. And then, gustong-gusto ko rin po talaga mag-perform. I really like to perform in front of other people. Kasi, that's my passion talaga. Parang, I feel natutuwa talaga ako. I feel happy when I'm performing in front of other people. At napapakita at na-share ko yung talent ko sa kanila. Yun. And then, masaya ako dahil marami nakakanood sa akin. Yun.
Yeah. Pero yung performance sa SMO, meron kayo nakaduet na kilalang
Yes.
celebrity, right?
Yes.
Kamusta naman yun?
Na-starstruck po kami doon. Opo.
Kasi sino ba kaduet nyo, Eunice?
Sila yung Castro.
Yes, si
Hanggang ngayon
Miss Glyza de
pa rin, hindi
Castro.
mo pa rin masabi yung pangalan.
Starstruck talaga kami.
Super.
Kamusta yun nung nakaduet nyo si Miss Glyza de Castro? Tapos nag-perform pa kayo sa sa SMOA.
Super.
Well, at first, hindi kami Hindi kami talaga makapaniwala, as in. Kasi we never expected na mangyayari yun. Kasi napapanood lang namin siya sa TV. Tas now,
Yes.
kaduod
Na
na namin, makakatabi
duwit
na
na
namin.
namin.
Yeah. At may sinabi ba siya sa inyo, Eunice?
Nag-hi, nag-hi hello lang po kami sa kanya. Tapos,
Tas binati rin niya kami.
binati din
Magaling
po
daw.
kami.
Ano
Ganun lang.
sabi nila? Ano sabi ni Glyza sa inyo, JM?
Magaling daw po yung performance. Ganda raw po, sabi sa kanya.
Tapos I know that nagsimula tayo, 'di ba? May recital at San Antonio and then nagkaroon ng premiere sa MOA. But after that, marami pa tayong pinuntahan. Nag-perform kayo sa Artist
Mm.
Playground for a company and then there's another show at Artist Playground. Tapos meron pa another show sa San Lorenzo, Makati. So parang in a ways for a time nag-tour kayo. Ano
Yes,
yung feeling
nag-tour.
nun? Na parang merong mini tour.
Ano?
Actually po, sinasabi ko nga sa kanya, sabi ko, para tayong famous dito. Kasi
Akin.
may touring kami.
Sabi niya sa
Oo.
akin.
Sinasabi niya sa akin. Sinasabi ko sa kanya, sabi ko.
Malay mo,
"Fam-"
ibang
Oo, sabi
lugar.
ko sa kanya.
Di ba?
Nag-aano nga kami, sabi ko, ang galing. Parang, grabe, we never expect talaga na mangyayari yun. Kasi
Yes.
talagang
Opo.
magtutour, tapos
Tapos sabi ko sa
ipopromote
kanya,
mo yung show,
malay mo,
ganun.
baka sa ibang lugar
Oo.
naman. Ganyan, ganyan.
Malay na, oo.
Actually, kung hindi
ano kami.
nag-pandemic, to be honest, meron dapat tayong show sa Ateneo, may show din tayo sa Baguio. So, totoo talaga dapat may ibang lugar. We will be going around the country dapat with a documentary. But then, the pandemic happened, so we couldn't tour. Yeah. So, but buta na lang, in a way, we had like 4 shows before the pandemic happened. So,
Yes.
nagkaroon kayo ng mini tour. Ano yung feeling na nakikita niyo yung mukha niyo sa big screen, sa sinehan? Ganun.
Para kaming artista na ganun po.
Pinangarap niyo ba na gano'n, na parang maging artista, na mag-perform sa harap ng mga tao? Yes,
Yes,
Eunice, gusto mo talaga mag-perform.
Yeah.
Ano yung difference kung makikita mo yung sarili mo nung first time, yung recital, 'di ba? First performance mo yun with Special Achievers na recital, tapos compared to yung last performance mo sa San Lorenzo, Makati. Nakita, siguro after 2 years.
Talaga. Kasi po sa first, medyo mahiyain pa po ako nun eh. Tapos nung tumagal-tagal na, medyo ko na po yung yung kaba ko, napigilan ko, ganyan.
So, nag-improve. JM, ikaw na nanalo ka na ng contest even before Pero, diba? Pero, you've been training with Special Achievers for 3 years now, since 2018. Kamusta yung progreso mo?
Masasabi ko well, may training ako pero mas nag-progress pa. Parang, actually, nung dumating yung specialty achievers, tas may music class, tuwang-tuwa kasi ako dahil at least i-continue ko yung dati kong learnings, yung naging naituro sa akin from dati kong mga lessons, mga ganun, sa music class. So, I'm actually happy talaga kasi naituloy ko at saka meron akong bagong napag-aralan, bagong techniques na mga nalaman, ganun. Tsaka natuloy ko yung music na passion.
Actually, ikaw, JM, pag nagpa-perform ka, 110% Parang kala namin,
Yes.
pag practice, ang galing-galing mo. Pero pag performance, ibang level.
Diba?
Yung energy mo, pag lalo na pag may audience.
Actually, sobrang saya po talaga. Opo, iba. Nag-exaggerate yung energy ko, ganun. Lalo na pag feeling, yung marami talagang tao.
Tapos
Yun talaga.
nagpapalakpak. Ako po, lalo niyang niyan, gagalingan.
Oo, talaga
Ganun ako
mag-exaggerate.
mag-perform.
Oo.
Kasi gusto ko po talaga mag-perform.
Ano
I
pangarap
really
mo,
like to perform
JM?
po talaga. Maging theater po. Theater actor, actually.
Saan?
Theater. Sa West End shows like Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera, Hamilton, Miss Saigon, mga ganun.
Wow. West End. So, sa London?
Opo.
Salamat.
Wow! Ikaw, Eunice, ano pangarap mo?
Maging singer at madami akong gusto.
Sige, maging singer at
Maging chef.
maging chef.
Madami pa.
Why not? Pwede naman eh. Nagpe-perform na nga kayo with ano,
Yes.
diba? With Liza Di Castro.
Nagluluto.
Hindi nga natin akalaan yun eh. Sino pa gusto nyo makaduet or maka-perform?
For me, pinaka-dream ko si Miss Lea Salonga. Pinaka-dream
Dito.
kong makaduet yan. Miss
Ikaw
Lea
din,
Salonga
Miss
talaga.
Lea Salonga.
Yes. Idol ko po siya talaga.
Napakagaling po niya. Para siyang si Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews. Oo, at saka it's right up your alley kasi Broadway, diba?
Opo.
Right. Pero, I just wanna go back. Kamusta yung experience ng pagiging SPED student? So, sa isang regular school. Kasi alam ko, punta ako sa San Antonio, yung SPED doon less than 100, pero yung estudyante sa buong high school, 2,000. So, konti lang kayo. Wala pa 100.
Konti lang kami, tapos madami yung
Maraming neurotypical. Anong experience no na nandun kayo sa isang malaking public school, tapos konti kayo na SPED students? Kamusta yun?
Well, at first, nung unang pasok ko talaga parang nanibago ako sa surroundings kasi regular talaga. Tsaka medyo mahihiyain din ako at first, pero pag nakilala ko yung tao, dun ko siya yun. Kasi hindi ako kumakausap sa taong hindi ko talaga inaano. Talagang kailangan makilala ko muna siya, maging friend ko muna. Actually, hindi ko nga siya nilalapitan hangga't di niya ako kakausapin. Ganun po akong tao eh. Yun. So, nagulat po talaga kami. Minsan may nangbubully, pero sa tulong din po ng mga advisors namin, mga teacher, na-guide naman po.
Nag-guide naman po.
Naka-experience ka ng pambubuli sa school din, Eunice?
Yeah, one time. Pero sinumbong ko din. So, okay. Na-guide naman ako ng teacher ko din.
Ikaw, JM, paano mo na-experience yung pambubuli, you said? At saka, nakwento mo, minsan hindi ka sinasali?
Opo, may ganun time minsan. Parang not accepted ka kasi visually impaired, ganun. So, kaya hindi ka isasama kasi baka mamaya ma-aksidente ka, mga ganun. For me, nakakasakit siya ng damdamin kasi bakit ako hindi sasali? Porket ba VI hindi na pwedeng sumali kasi ma-aksidente? Kasi ako, ayoko ng ganun kasi gusto ko mag-discover ng iba't ibang bagay, mga ganun. Ayoko yung nililimitahan ako sa ganito lang dapat. For you, ganito ka lang kasi VA ka lang, hindi ka pwedeng baka ma-aksidente ka, ganun. Well, iisipin ko rin naman yung aksidente pero iingatan ko rin naman yung sarili ko pero wag naman yung magbabawalan. For me, nasasaktan talaga ako pag may ganun na hindi ka pwedeng ganito kasi VA ka nga, baka masaktan ka, maano ka, ganyan. Yun yung palagi nilang sinasabi sa akin. So, kaya, halimbawa po, pag may group, hindi nila ako isasali kasi huwag ka na sumali diyan, upo ka na lang kasi kami na lang bahala, mga ganon. Sabi ko, tao din naman ako may VI lang ako, pero hindi ako isasali. So, yun, nasasaktan ako sa ganun. Kasi, pare-pares lang naman tayong tao, may karapatan din naman tayo. Ang problema nga lang, pinagkaiba lang, meron akong disability, kayo wala. Pero pare-pares tayong dapat may karapatan na kung pwede niyong gawin, pwede rin namin gawin. Kung kaya namin, kung kaya nyo rin dapat.
So, kung kaya nila, kaya mo din. Right? Kasi gusto mo sinasali ka rin nila. Ikaw, Eunice, anong mensahe mo sa mga sabi mo nga nambubuli or minsan hindi kayo naiintindihan? Kasi napapansin mo rin yung mga ibang napapansin mo rin yung reaksyon ng ibang SPED, ng ibang regular students sa mga SPED students, 'di ba? At saka natatandaan ko sa school palagi mong inaakayan si Charity, si Nalemet, palagi mo silang tinutulungan. So anong masasabi mo sa mga Yun mga, sa mga regular students na hindi kayo masyadong naiintindihan.
So, sabi nga ni JM, ano, kung kaya namin gawin, kaya din namin. Kasi nga, paano naman kami mabubuhay kung hindi namin kaya? Hindi ba?
Tsaka and then kasi they think na ano, VA kami kaya baka hindi namin kaya ng ganitong gawin kasi nga meron kaming disability like ako VI ako kaya hindi nila ako minsan sinasali kasi baka hindi ko daw makita ganon. Well kahit hindi ko naman nakikita ginagawa ko naman yung best ko para magawa pa rin yung mga ganon na ano masabayan ko sila. Kaya every time talaga nasa regular class ako, pinapakita ko na kaya kong makipagsabayan sa kanila. Kasi kung hindi ka makikipagsabayan talaga, hindi mo ipo-prove yung sarili mo na kaya mo, matatalo ka. Ganun.
Pag VI, ang ibig po sabihin ng VI, visual impairment.
Visually
Yung
impaired.
sinasabi ni, visually impaired, yung sinasabi ni JM. Oh, pero ano nga, balita ko nga sa mga teachers mo your grades are high. As in, kaya mo talaga
Yes.
makipagsabayan sa mga regular students.
Yes.
Yeah. At anong mensahe pala? At pareho kayo ay star. Kasama kayo dun sa documentary na ngayon mapapanood na nila online. Bakit nila kailangan panoorin yung documentary nyo?
Kailangan nilang panoorin kasi una sa lahat, nagbibigay siya ng hope sa mga PWDs din, sa mga persons with disability
Magbibigay siya
din
ng
na
tiwala.
oo, ng parang
Opo.
kung kaya nilang sila nga nakapag-gano'n na nakapag-perform, tayo pa
Kaya
kaya
mo din.
gano'n. So kaya mo rin. Parang gusto namin maparating sa ibang persons with disability din na hindi pa umaalis sa kanilang comfort zone dahil nga sinasabi nila kasi meron silang persons with disability pero nandiyan lang sila na
Parang
try nilang
napagpahinaan
lumabas,
sila ng loob.
oo, na wag silang paghinaan na try nilang lumabas sa comfort zone nila, hanapin nila yung talent nila at saka i-develop nila para i-prove nila sa ibang tao na kahit meron kang person with disability or kahit may kapansanan ka man, kaya mong gawin yung ginagawa ng normal na tao. Na
Yes.
maipapakita mo rin sa kanila yung talent mo, na
Yung
may
talent
galing ka rin
mo.
na
Kung
maipapakita.
ano naman
Hindi ka
yung
lang
talent
basta
mo.
hindi ka lang basta hindi ka lang basta-basta na persons with disability ka lang, dapat nasa bahay ka lang, na meron ka ring talent na maipapakita sa iba.
Ang ganda naman nun. Ang inspiring naman nun, JM. Ikaw, Eunice, anong may dadagdag mo?
Wala na.
Wala na.
Nasabi niya na lahat. Oo.
Oo, pero actually yung journey mo, Eunice, ang inspiring. Kasi nakita ko na nagsimula na sobrang mahiyain ka.
Super mahiyain po ako. Kasi pag di bago lang po ako sa San Antonio. So, pag akyat po namin, super mahiyain po ako. Hindi ko po sila kinakausap. Tapos, nung lumapit sila, so, anong disability mo? Parang wala ka naman disability. So, sinabi ko po yung disability ko. So, naintindihan na po nila kung ano yung disability ko.
So, simula nun, ano nangyari nung naintindihan nila?
Yun po, kinakausap na po nila ako, tapos tinatanong nila kung kaya ko ba yung subject na yan, tulungan kita, ganyan.
Pero now, hindi lang nila kayo nakikita sa school. Ngayon, nakikita na nila kayo di ba nagkaroon tayo ng radio program,
Opo.
na-interview kayo doon, tapos FB Lives, but also napapanood nila kayo sa senior,
Dyaryo
tapos
din,
minsan
ma'am.
marami rin kasi mga recital, so nakikita nila kayo palagi. Anong sabi kayo ng mga classmates nyo, ng mga teachers nyo sa inyo?
Proud po sila sa amin.
Sabi
Ay,
sa
sabi
amin,
ng
galing nyo naman, mga ganun.
Wow, nakakaabot kayo sa radyo, ganyan.
Yung mga nakakakita.
Ano pa yung pangarap niyo? Saan niyo pa gustong makapunta? Ano pa yung gusto niyong ma-achieve?
Maka,
I mean, in terms of performing or kung sinong gusto niyo magturo sa inyo or sinong gusto niyo. So, kasi hindi natin alam, 'di ba parang dati kinikwento lang namin sa'yo, magkakaroon tayo ng documentary, magkaya kayo kami ng documentary.
kala
Tapos,
nga po namin sandali lang siya, yung workshop lang, gano'n.
Oo,
Kasi
actually
po
yun lang
dati
yun.
nag-workshop po kami. So, kala po namin workshop lang
Hanggang
po
dun na
siya,
lang.
hindi magtatagal,
Mm.
gano'n. Pero po magtatagal po pala.
actually, 3 taon na tayo magkakasama.
Oo nga eh.
Since 2018 at mukhang marami pang mangyayari
Yes.
for both of you. So, yun. Final word. Ay, pakita natin sa kanila yung poster nyo because you have a poster. Tapos, nandun si JM sa
Yes.
poster. Nandun din si Eunice. Kaya lang nandun sa medyo babang part. So, hindi masyadong makikita. Ayan.
Yeah.
Imbitahan nyo sila sa inyong documentary.
Iniimbitahan po namin kayo na manood ng posible documentary. Marami po kayong matututunan dito at matututunan nyo po na kahit meron kang person with disability ka or may PWD ka, kaya mong makipagsabayan at makakapag boost din to ng confidence sa mga may persons with disability na ipakita yung talent nila sa ibang tao. Na i-share, na sabihin nilang kaya nila na hindi dapat sila nahihiya.
Right. Sabi ng mom mo, JM, good job, guys. Sabi rin ni Miss Jasmine, you're all inspiring. Keep up the good works. More power. Si Teacher Carl, good evening daw. Tapos, meron pang isang comment dito. Si Emma, sabi niya, I admire your passion and dedication enabling these children and youth with disabilities. Keep it up. So maraming salamat. Nagiging ano na kayo dito ha? Naging pro na kayo sa interview. Gumagaling na kayong sumagot. Ayan. Final words na lang sa lahat ng nanonood at saka nakikinig. Si Eunice muna. Kasi sasabihin mo na naman nasabi na lahat ni JM pag hinuli kita. Final words for everybody watching.
Manood po kayo kung saan po kayo. Lugar.
Yeah.
Manood po kayo.
JM, final words for everybody watching.
Again, manood po kayo ng posible. Mapapanood ninyo na po siya anywhere, anytime anywhere you want, kahit saan man kayo sa mundo. Puntahan nyo na lang po yung link.
Para na talaga kayong artista, magaling na kayo mag-promote. Thank you so much, JM and Eunice. Well, and siguro, usually we end with a meditation, but really, hindi lang for persons with disabilities Also for people without disability, ang inspiring. Kasi nga, nagagawa nila Sabi nga ni JM at saka ni Eunice, na-develop nila yung talent nila, na-improve nila yung sarili nila. So even if you don't have a disability, ang inspiring documentary. So instead of a meditation, I'll share with you the documentary, the trailer of the documentary again. So bye for now. We'll end with this. Bye everyone, and we'll end with this preview. Thank you, JM. Thank you, Eunice.
Thank you.
Gusto kong pakita na kaya kong maging independent, kaya kong maging normal, kaya kong sabayan yung ginagawa sa school. Yun po ang gusto kong ipakita at para hindi po sila natatakot sa amin.
Basta ang ano ko lang, kung nagbubukas tayo ng bagong mundo sa kanila, di ba? Kasi yung cooperation din ng mga bata, ng mga teachers, maramdaman mo.
Andun yung gutom to learn. Which is, ang tayo nakaka-fuel siya to more help kasi nga, madali yung delivery.
Tapos, cheese. Tapos po.
Kung may pagkukulang ako sa anak ko, natututo ko. At matututo rin ang anak ko sa pagdating ng panahon na wala ako sa kanya.
Disability exists because we put a limit on what a child with disability can. Pero kung magbubukas tayo sa mga taong may kapansanang posible, posible silang maging independente, posible silang maging artist, posible lang marating kung ano man ang gusto nilang marating. Kung bubuksan lang natin ang ating pag-unawa, bubuksan natin ang ating komunidad. Posible.